Have you noticed that some homes seem to invite prosperity, while others seem to push it away? There are places you walk into and immediately feel lightness, clarity, possibilities, and there are others that, even if they look nice on the outside, carry a strange heaviness, a sense that life just doesn't move inside that space. Here's the uncomfortable part. Your home is saying something about your money, even if you never talk about money at all. In this video, I want to show you one single habit, very common and almost invisible, that blocks wealth inside your home. It looks normal, it seems harmless, but every day it sends the same message to the universe and to your subconscious. I accept stagnation, I accept the minimum, I accept what doesn't flow. As long as this habit is alive in your home, you can study abundance, repeat affirmations, try to manifest money, and still feel that something is stuck, that something doesn't respond. When you understand this habit and remove it from your life, the energy of your home changes. And when the energy of your home changes, the way you think, decide, and show up around money changes with it. Before I reveal what this habit is, we need to take a step back and look at your home in a completely different way. Your home is not just a collection of walls, furniture, and objects. Your home is an energy field. Everything inside it, the things you use, the ones you forgot, the ones you tolerate, the ones you keep for later, all of that tells a story about you. Clutter is not just clutter. Too many things are not just too many things. What is abandoned in a corner is not abandoned energetically. Your home is like a mirror of your inner world, and at the same time a magnet that influences what you attract. If the energy of the space is heavy, delayed, full of stuck things and unfinished promises, that is the same frequency your subconscious records when it thinks about money. In the next minutes, I'm going to show you how this connection between home and money works in a very concrete way, and why one single habit you've been practicing without noticing may be holding your prosperity back inside your own house. But first, let's understand this silent relationship between the space you live in and the wealth you allow into your life. When you start looking at your home as an energy field, a few things become very clear. It's not just about aesthetics. It's not only about being pretty or ugly. It's about movement or stagnation. Think about a river. When the water is flowing, it's clean, alive, full of oxygen. When the water stands still, it starts to collect dirt, smell, mosquitoes, disease. The energy in your home works in a very similar way. Now, pay close attention to this. The biggest wealth block in most homes is not a cursed object, not a specific symbol, not some hidden mystical detail. What blocks prosperity the most, inside a house, is a silent habit that slowly takes over, the habit of tolerating stagnation. It's when you get used to seeing broken things and think, I'll fix it someday. Piles of paper and say, I'll sort that later. Overstuffed drawers and say, one day I'll go through this. A corner that turned into a drop zone of everything you don't want to deal with now. The problem is not just the stuck object. It's the message this habit sends all the time. I live with what doesn't work. I accept what is blocked. I postpone what matters. Your subconscious doesn't clearly separate objects from areas of life. If it sees physical stagnation everywhere, it records stagnation as normal. So when it comes to money, opportunities, growth, guess which pattern tends to repeat itself? Can you see how this goes far beyond tidying up? We're talking about a way of relating to life itself. A cluttered home, full of broken and unused things, is not just a sign of disorganization. It's a sign that your energy has learned to live with what doesn't flow. And here is the core point. As long as you keep this habit of living with what is broken, stuck, forgotten, it becomes very hard to truly hold, inside yourself, the idea that you deserve a greater flow of money, opportunities, and prosperity. In the next step, I'll guide you through specific signs, room by room, so you can clearly see where this habit is hiding in your home and inside yourself. Now that you understand the real block is the habit of tolerating stagnation, let's bring this into something very concrete. I want you to imagine for a few seconds that you're walking into your home as if it were for the first time, not to judge it, but to observe it. Let's do a small energy tour together. Start at the front door. What greets you? Shoes piled up, trash that hasn't been taken out, random things with no place to belong. The entrance of your home is like the entry gate for money energy as well. If the first message is confusion, tightness, things stacked everywhere, it's like saying there is no space for the new to come in. Now think about your living room. Is it a space for connection? Or did it turn into storage? Are there broken objects, decorations you don't even like anymore? papers thrown around, surfaces covered with stuff. The living room often reflects how you show yourself to the world. If this space is heavy, it's very common that you feel a similar heaviness when you try to be visible. Ask for a raise, charge for your work, or put yourself out there. Next, look at the kitchen. It's the symbol of nourishment and support. A stove dirty for days, piled up dishes, expired food, cabinets full of things you never use. All of that communicates scarcity and disorder in the way you nourish yourself. And that mirrors the way you feed yourself with money, opportunities and resources. Now the bedroom, your place of rest, regeneration, intimacy. Clothes everywhere, stuff on the bed, on the floor, a closet packed with clothes you haven't worn for years. A congested bedroom steals your sense of real rest, and a tired mind has a much harder time creating, deciding well and noticing financial opportunity. If you have a workspace at home, look at it carefully. Is your desk full of papers you avoid, bills you don't want to see, documents scattered around? This is one of the most sensitive points. Many people literally place their money in the pile of "I'll deal with it later." The result is a constant feeling that their financial life is always late, always trying to catch up. And then, there are the forgotten corners, that drawer you never open, that cabinet that can't fit anything else, that little room that turned into the house's black hole. These concentrated points of stagnation work like pockets of stuck energy. You pretend you don't see them, but your energy field feels them. Notice I didn't mention perfection or magazine cover homes at any point. That's not what this is about. This is about tolerating for too long what is clearly not okay, what is stuck, broken, accumulated. In the next part, I'll show you a simple step-by-step process to start removing this habit today, in a practical way without needing to renovate your entire home, beginning with one single spot that already shifts the energy of your house and your relationship with money. Now that you've seen where stagnation hides, the question is, where do I even start if everything feels like too much? The answer is simple. You are not going to start with the whole house. You're going to start with one single strategic spot. Choose a place you see every day. It might be the entrance, a corner of the living room, the kitchen counter, your desk. Nothing huge. Pick something you can work on in 20 or 30 minutes. And here comes the main rule. No broken things, no dead things, no useless things. Start picking up each object in that area and ask yourself, is this alive in my daily life? Or is it just sitting here, taking up space? If it's broken and you haven't fixed it in months, the truth is, you probably won't. It represents an unkept promise. Either you truly fix it in the next few days, or you thank it and let it go. If it's dead, a dried plant, something with no life, an object that no longer has meaning for you, notice how it represents something inside you that has already ended, but you insist on donate it, recycle it, throw it away, but free that space. If it has no real function, something you keep just in case, one day, see how that speaks to a scarcity mindset, the fear of not having late. When you release useless excess, you send the opposite message. I trust there will be more when I need it. Do this with presence. It's not just physical cleaning, it's a message correction. As you clear the space, you can repeat inwardly, I am making room for the new. I am releasing stagnation from my home and from my financial life. When you finish this small area, stop for a moment, breathe, feel, notice how the environment already seems lighter, more breathable. This is the beginning of removing the habit. You're showing your subconscious that from now on, stuck, broken and piled up things are no longer acceptable as your standard. It's not about perfection, it's about a new inner boundary. In here, energy needs to flow. In the next block, I'll show you how to turn this one-time action into a new way of relating to your home and to money, using small rituals and micro habits that keep this prosperity energy alive in your daily life. What you've done so far is more powerful than it seems. When you choose one spot in your home and decide that stagnation is no longer welcome there, you're creating a new inner standard. But there's a common mistake people make. They do one big cleaning day when they feel motivated, and then let everything slowly go back to how it was. Prosperity is not an event. Prosperity is a rhythm, a way of relating to life every single day. So how do you keep this new energy alive in your home, and as a result, in your relationship with money? The answer lies in micro habits. Small actions that, when repeated, reprogram your field. You can start with 3 simple commitments. 1 minute of awareness at the door. Every time you arrive home, pause for a few seconds at the entrance, look around and ask yourself, is this communicating welcome, flow, openness, or is it communicating heaviness, tightness, delay? If there's something thrown on the floor, trash left there, random things piled up, take 1 minute to adjust it. It's not about perfection, it's about the message. Here, energy enters easily. Here, the new is welcome. 2. A small daily closing ritual. Before going to bed, choose one small gesture to close the energy of your home. Quickly clearing an important surface, putting away something that was left out, spending 2 or 3 minutes organizing the space where you deal with money. Your desk, the place you keep bills, your study area. As you do this, you can affirm inwardly, I end this day with order and respect for what I have. Tomorrow, I am ready to receive more. This kind of ritual teaches your subconscious that your life is not abandoned chaos. It has direction. A weekly meeting with the flow. Choose one day of the week for a small meeting with prosperity. Review a drawer. Let go of a few objects that no longer make sense. Look at your bills and finances without fear, in a clean, clear, organized space. Notice the difference. You're not just tidying drawers, you're telling life, I look at my money with clarity, I take care of what I have, I create space for what has not yet arrived. Over time, your home stops being just a backdrop and becomes an ally. It reminds you every single day that you no longer accept living surrounded by stuck things, broken promises and heavy energy. In the next block, we'll weave all of this into a deeper vision, how the way you treat your physical space reveals what you believe you deserve, and how this seemingly simple shift can become a turning point in your story with money. Now, we can go deeper into a question that honestly sits at the root of all this. What does the way you treat your physical space say about what you believe you deserve? Notice how, when you tolerate broken things, clutter, piles of I'll deal with it later for months, it's not just lack of time. Most of the time it's a silent reflection of something deeper, a sense that you're not that important, that your space can wait, that you can live with less than you actually want. And that same logic often shows up in your relationship with money. You accept getting paid less than you're worth. You accept late payments. You accept mediocre opportunities. You stay where you clearly don't grow, because internally the message is, I'll manage, even when it's not really good for me. When you start changing the way you treat your home, something interesting happens. It's not the universe that suddenly becomes different. You start seeing yourself differently. A home that is lighter, clearer, more functional, without so many broken, stuck or forgotten things, reminds you day after day, I deserve to live in a space that respects me. I deserve circulation, beauty, functionality. I deserve things that work. And the mind learns quickly. When you repeat this message in your environment, it starts spreading to other areas. You tolerate less from relationships that drain you. You have less patience for jobs that don't value you. You're less willing to just patch things up where no one truly recognizes you. That's why this habit of stagnation is not just a detail of the house. It's a living metaphor of a life pattern. And when you remove this habit, room by room, little by little, you are, without even noticing, reprogramming what you believe is your standard of deserving. This is not about magic. It's about coherence. A more dignified environment reinforces a more dignified self-image, and a more dignified self-image makes very different decisions with money. In the next block, we'll tie this whole journey into a simple, powerful conclusion, an invitation for you to consciously choose what message your home and your energy will send about your financial destiny from now on. By now, you've probably realized this video is not about quick money or magical tricks to get rich overnight. It's about something much deeper, the coherence between the world you live in on the outside and the wealth you say you want on the inside. The habit that blocks prosperity in your home is not a specific object. It's not a wrong charm, not a forbidden symbol, not some secret mystical detail. It's the habit of accepting stagnation, accepting what is broken, what is stuck, what is piled up, and calling that norm. Because deep down, every time you say I'll deal with it later, it's fine like this, one day I'll fix it, you're not just talking about your house. You're talking about your life. So today I want to invite you to do something very simple and very direct. When this video ends, don't just click on the next one. Don't let this reflection become just another piece of content you consume and forget. Choose one single spot in your home. Just the entrance, a small table, a shelf, a drawer. Look at this place as a symbol of your financial life. Ask yourself honestly, if this corner were a seer of my money, would it be flowing or blocked? Then apply everything we talked about. No broken things, no dead things, no useless things. Throw away what represents stagnation, donate what can serve someone else, fix what truly matters and what you will actually use, but do it with intention. As you work on that space, repeat inwardly, I no longer accept living surrounded by stagnation. I create space for flow. I create space for prosperity. It may look like a very small gesture, but that's how big changes begin, in a small place, with a very clear decision. The truth is, wealth doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in the way you treat yourself, the way you treat the space you live in, the way you choose what you tolerate and what you no longer will. Your home is talking about your financial destiny all the time. From today on, you get to choose whether it will repeat the old story of stagnation or become the first place where your new reality of prosperity starts to take shape. The question that remains is simple, but deep. Will you keep living with the habit that blocks wealth in your home, or will you start today to remove, with your own hands, everything that does not represent the future you want to live? The choice is yours, and it begins with the next object you decide to keep or let go.